Salutations! It's been a while since I've done a Snacking for Rinoa. I missed like a whole season. It's July now, but I'm gonna explain why that is in full. And you might have heard me say something like that in a KZX's chat room, but I'll tell the full story now here. It also will concern the future of Snacking for Rinoa on this YouTube channel as we know it. Mid to end of March, I believe it was, my right foot started to swell up and turn red, and I thought, okay, well, it's just my, that's just where I broke my foot years ago, so I'm like, okay, it's just nagging like that, I'll just take some medication, some pain meds, and it'll just go away. Not the case. It actually got even worse to a point where I couldn't even put a shoe over it without it, like, hurting like crazy. So, and then it got even worse to the point where I couldn't even put weight on it, period. So I was like out of work for like a good month or so with that. So I'm like, oh no. So in the meantime, I was given these steroids and some other medicine to take that away. It alleviated it, but as the week-long medication stopped, the swelling and pain immediately rears back up, like the next day. Just so like, hey, let's put them on another week. Maybe we can finish it off this time. No, same deal. So then I go to get a blood test to see if anything on that comes up badly, and my blood sugar came back 160. Everything else was normal, but my blood sugar was like, oh no, now, guess what's on the chopping block now? So yeah, I'm at the physician's now, cursing my body for giving out on me like this, because I'm arriving at the conclusion the same he does. He gives me this test, I'm like, it's possibly diabetes. So, trying to keep positive, I'm like, all right, let me do that one quack experimental Saturday where I'm like, oh, I'll make light of it a little and play Captain Novolin and all the other games that a publisher put together. I forget the name of it, but that's maybe I can give a link to that below. So, I've been out of work for a month now, and the new meds they gave me managed to stop the swelling somewhat, but now I'm just no sugar anymore. And then a little bit later, it started to get rid of it completely after my new diet, so to speak. Like, it's serious now. I spoke with my mom, and she said, anything above 3 grams of sugar, you can't have. Soda is especially out of the picture for a good while. So I've been on these bottled waters with the crystal lights and the, what are they, Mios, whatever they're called. Pretty good, but there's this drink called Sparkling Ice, which has no sugar in it. It's the closest thing to come to soda, and they are amazing. I'm probably not going to put pictures, because right now it's a full-time job just editing Rogue Galaxy and the Budokai Tenkaichi 2, trying to get prepped for those. So, and I just came to this kind of like, I just got to tell the story more than anything else, really. And then I'll do a review later. But anyway, soda completely gone. That was like my main beverage for a while with the, it was like the 2 liters. I'm like, nope, can't do that anymore. But other than that, I didn't really change my diet too much. But they do say, like, eat more concise meals throughout the day. Like, smaller meals, like portion that shit. Instead of, like, just one big meal for, like, breakfast, lunch, dinner, which is how I used to do it. I would eat too much breakfast, but that's probably also a problem sometimes where I would just skip it and go like, okay, I'm up, let me go shower and then go do video stuff. Start the day before it gets like too busy or too hot, especially now in the summer where it's like, it's too hot in the afternoons where I'm like, okay, I can't do this in this heat. Right now even, I got my fan completely off. That's why I only did that one Sony review. With the fan on, because I'm like, there's no way I'm doing it without the fan. I'll die. So yeah, now I'm sugar-free just about. Anything, except for, like I said, anything 3 grams or lower, I'm okay with. And then they give you this test if you're diabetic, just to be sure. They give you all these pamphlets and stuff like that, and there's also the test where you gotta, because he says, like, I want you to check your blood sugar now and come back with me readings, and like, I think like it was like, more 2 months, give or take, or something like that. Like, it was like a full month, and then there was like maybe like half and half. So let's just say 2 months, just to boost, just a ballpark it. But yeah, 2 months of they give you like the Lancet to poke yourself in like the finger or the arm because you want to get like blood flow to come out, and then you put that blood flow like a globule of blood. You need to put it on a plastic slip of paper or something like that in this machine that reads your blood sugar levels. And I think I started this like 3 days after I got the news, after I started the diet, and cut like sugar out just about completely for the first couple of weeks. I was like almost no sugar. And not once did it go over 120. Like my highest was like 117, which is still normal. I've even had some days where the test would read 30, 40, 50, and now I'm like, oh shit, because if you're low, then you need sugar or you're going to go into diabetic shock. That's worse. That's the other extreme of where you're like, okay, now I'm not in control in that regard either. But either way, there was like no symptoms. Like with like diabetes, you get like blurred vision. I had them all written down somewhere, or like a pamphlet somewhere. I forget the rest of them, but it was like blurred vision, trouble urination or something like that. And I'm like, no problems. And I think like low blood sugar, they give you like a bunch of things, and I'm like, yeah, no symptoms there either. Like either way, I was fine. So now I'm thinking, and this is after like a couple of weeks of it now, where it's like, now it's like I'm getting normal readings like 80, 90, 70, and some of them like 30, 40s. I'm like, if I'm too low, this is going to be a problem. So let me get a can of soda once a week. That would be my sugar for like the whole week. Other than like the 3 grams, and we're gonna see what happens. And I come back still normal readings. I'm doing what the diet tells me to, where I eat more smaller meals throughout the day. I'm eating breakfast even if I just eat a little something like a banana, which has natural sugars in that, of course, still know what you call it. English muffins or bagels, which, by the way, can also be a problem for diabetics, because if you eat a lot of like breads and grains, that can turn into sugar sometimes. But other than the breakfast and stopping soda completely, I didn't really change all that much outside of the diet. I mean, I had like sugar-free stuff for a while. Like, if I want to do waffles, I had like sugar-free syrup, which is, I was like, okay, this is good. We can keep with this. Like, most of the stuff they gave me back with like sugar-free, I liked. There was like I forget the brand name. It's probably a local or something like that. But there was like, had like these wafers, sugar-free pound cake, sugar-free slices of like devil's food cake and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, I can get stuff like this. It's going to cost a little more because it's like sugar-free, and it's like for stuff like that. And it's like a very small section in the supermarket. But, you know, that's I'm doing it. But yeah, about 2 months of this, like I said, I went back last Monday to get my results. Show him all the numbers and dates recorded. He basically told me, hey, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Like I said, no change. Like, I'm still eating, like, I'm a big pasta and grain eater myself. I'm still doing that with, like, little changes there. Like, I can't go back for a second sometimes, which I just do. I'm like, oh man, this pasta's really good. Keeping with the diet, keeping in within reason. I'm like, all right, I can regulate it. I can keep myself a little bit there. Like I said, the only big change I made was like the sodas constantly every day as my go-to beverage. That's done. Now it's all them waters and the sparkling ices, like I mentioned. So he's like, yeah, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And pretty much agreed with me, thinking that, yeah, you might not have diabetes at all. Or my guess is I was in danger of that and corrected it before it became it. So before I said I was cursing my body for giving out, now I'm breathing a fresh sign of relief, because I think it was trying to warn me. This is what's going to happen to you if you don't change your shit right now. So, long story short, Snacking4RINOA will live on, but the format will change, because I believe gone are the days where I get a big thing of like one sugary thing that only I will eat. For example, the new Oreo flavors that they keep coming out. And I've seen 2 so far, the maple syrup waffles and the blueberry pie. What am I to do with those? Eat 5 and leave them alone for the rest of the day? That's one of the things I had to throw out. I had a review for like it was like Easter, and they had like these Starburst jelly bean ice cream flavors, and they were pretty good. One of them was like really tart. I think the raspberry was like super, super tart. But other than that, they were pretty good. And they were like the first things I had to like throw out when I got the bad news. Just whatever I had left to toss them. Because I would eat those, come down from recording and just eat some of them every day. And I'm like, oh no, this This is the part of the problem. On the other hand, stuff like cereal or individually packaged stuff you could save, like Pop-Tarts, for example. I can keep doing them, because that I can keep within reason. I was like, okay, I can eat one and done, and I'll be all right with that, Still keeping in reason. So, like I said, the format's going to change. It might not even be a review anymore. It might just boil down to best and worst of that month and just do a quick one now, monthly as opposed to seasonally. So I'm just like, for the month of so-and-so, this is what the worst thing was I found, if anything, or if it just, could be just like one thing where it's like the best thing. It's like, But just continuing to eat smarter and healthier like I'm doing now and do sugary stuff once in a while, not necessarily every day or several times a day, like them 2-liter sodas I would get, and that would be, like I said, that'd be my main beverage, never again will that be. The snacking for Rinoa and the Rinoa you once knew are deed. But I do have a couple things I've eaten. I didn't, like I said, I didn't put anything down because the whole editing Dragon Ball Z and grinding for Rogue Galaxy and all that stuff, that's kind of like, it's become like a full-time thing for me, so I'm just trying to get this done as quickly as possible. But I have a couple things written down what I had. I had these called Naturally Bare brand cocoa-covered banana chips. Those were better than they honestly have any right to be, surprisingly so. Just the right amount of sweetness with both flavors. Yeah, I don't really have all that much written down for, reviews. And, like I said, I spent half of it, in I can't eat sugary stuff anymore. And I told you all the sugary stuff, sugar-free stuff, rather, you can get. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good, this is pretty good, this is pretty good. One of the worst stuff I had was this, it's like an energy drink. It's Jersey Pump, which I call it Jersey Dump, because I felt like taking one after I drank one. I don't remember what flavor it was. It might have been mango, and it was nasty. You screw up mango, that's pretty much it with you with that brand. I'm like, no. So, another just lousy energy drink, and I'm like, maybe I stop doing those anymore, because I can count the good ones probably on one hand, maybe like the Kickstarter. I had that mango, that was pretty good. That was one of the sodas I had the week I bought 4 cans of soda. It was the Mountain Dew White Label. Was hoping this would be good, if not more than the winner, that is the Black Label, and White Label tastes slightly less strong than the black, but I can't really tell a big difference between the two. I had the Mountain Dew Spiked Raspberry Lemonade. I think I was supposed to shake it first to get all the spiked portion of the drink, because it's like pear cactus juice. I never had a straight up cactus juice before, so it took me by surprise here. I think they should have done a raspberry lemonade dew and just be done with it, in my opinion, but I like this. There was the disappointing Pepsi 1893 Black Currant. I'm like, oh, it's like tea and sugar and soda. I'm like, stranger combinations have happened. It just tasted like regular-ass Pepsi to me, which is, not the point. You want to taste something, what you call it? That was my first soda post-high blood sugar scare. So I was like, it was still good for that reason. So I'm like, as it was, but I think I picked this first due to it being the highest sugar count of the 4 I grabbed. It was like a, what you call it? Oh, by the way, if you're a Snapple drinker, you might as well fucking stop that right now if you're, concerned with that, because I've seen some of that higher than most sodas I've seen. It's a 45, and even the diet ones are aspartame, which is also, I heard, is not good for you either as a substitute. I'm like, well, so much for that. But now that I'm not in danger of diabetes or anything, I'm like, okay, maybe I can, but again, keep it within reason. I know one of the best was this Cookies United Cake Bites Classic Italian Rainbow. Savor these guys. Bite very, very small. Trust me, they're individually packaged like a small thing, but they are super soft and flavorful. I found these at my Wow, and I was just over the moon on these. I was just like, oh. By the time they left me, I was like, should have gotten another one, but it was probably a really expensive cake thing. But I'm like, oh man. I'm just thinking all the stuff I can go back to now, because I know I can't do the Oreos, but like I said, the Pop-Tarts, next time I go shopping, I can get the Jolly Rancher ones, because again, they're individual. I can eat just one or two. I can just eat 2 in a package and just be done with that for the day or something like that. Just keeping it within reason with that. Or I could eat one, put the other in the fridge and eat that cold or something like that tomorrow. You know what I mean? Just portion it, ration it. Keep it separate, keep it low, keep doing what I'm doing. Keep it reasonable. But, yeah. So, like I said, long story short, it's Snacking for Noah is going to be different how I'm doing things now. Like I said, it's just going to be, it's probably just going to be like, here's the best thing for this month. Like, it might just be like a short, like, not even barely a minute video or something like that. Like, this is the best thing for the... Maybe I'll just have, like, a picture of, like, theme music fanfare. I haven't decided yet. But I'm just glad I dodged that, the bullet that is diabetes. If I was on that, I'm like, because there's a lot of stuff, like, some people who are on diabetes, they can't do, like, they can't even do, like, a watermelon, and that's always a great thing to do in the summer, like watermelon slices and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I can't do that anymore if you're diabetic, because there's a lot of natural sugars in fruit. Like, you can't do fruit anymore, you know what I mean? So it's really counting my blessings, and I'm just glad to finally share my full story with this. And if you, like, if any of you are out there, I'm no expert on, but again, I've seen a couple things that are sugar-free, so if you want to make the switch, and if you have the money for it, please do. If you're doing soda every day, don't. Especially now in this heat, because soda doesn't really quench you as much. Like, I think I was a thing, too, where, like, in the summer I would do the sodas, and because it's carbonated, because it's got all the sugar and all that stuff, it quenches you less than, say, like a water or, like, a unsweetened iced tea. I've had a couple of those as well, like the Turkey Hill local stuff. There was, like, a unsweetened... it was like a diet green tea. That's pretty good. There was like a diet green tea with orange. That's pretty good. There was one with mango, which I have yet to find. Everyone's doing s'mores all of a sudden, because I think like Tasty Cake did like a s'mores thing where it's like, you know, it's like how the peanut butter cakes, but instead it's like s'mores. I'm like, I don't know about that one. But one of the things I had was like I like s'mores for breakfast because they were like English muffins. I'm like, oh, I gotta try these. Only 5 grams? I'm like, that's stretching it. But again, this was still after like a couple of weeks now where I'm like, okay, maybe I can just do this like every other day or like once a week or something like that. Or just, you know, still keeping it within regulation, all that. And, you know, those are pretty good. Those disappeared. Of course I say that, but I'm like, but with that said, take care. Thanks for listening.